The ball back at his alma mater. Brought in two new coordinators, one on the offensive side of the ball and one on the defensive side of the ball. And it'll be the Hurricanes that receive to start this brand new college football season. Miami, Ohio won the toss, deferred, so they will be kicking away. Jacoby George and Parrish Smith back there to receive. The long wait is finally over with the new college football season. The renewed hope, the dreams that come alive with week 1, and we are finally underway. Football is back. And it's Parrish Smith on the return for the Canes. He's got room, turns the corner, steps on the gas, bounced out of bounds after a return of 40 yards. That is great field position for Tyler Van Dyke and this Hurricanes offense.
And I love how Parrish Smith finished off that run. Just didn't go out of bounds, lowered the shoulder, trying to put a message. And it was Graham Nicholson, the kicker, that took the brunt from Parrish Smith.
So here is Tyler Van Dyke. This drive will begin year 3 for Van Dyke as the starting quarterback for the Canes, trying to get back to that ACC Rookie of the Year form from 2021. Parrish Jr., the running back, breaks a couple of tackles, hard-nosed running for a first down, gain of 11, already into enemy territory.
And we were curious who was going to get the start at running back, and it's Parrish Jr. But they have 4 backs that they're going to rotate through. But if one of them gets a hot hand, they're going to go with them. But boy, right there on first down, downhill run, square the shoulders, good push from that offensive line. It's a different Hurricanes team this season.
Running behind that rebuilt offensive line. They go right back to it, running right behind the transfer from UCF, Matt Lee. Getting a really good push up front. That's a gain of 7. Back-to-back carries for Parrish Jr. You said it, Rini, a rotating running back by committee philosophy this year for Miami. But new offensive coordinator Shannon Dawson said, we'll just go with the hot hand. If someone's running it really well, we'll stick with them.
And they're getting good push. Inez Cooper, the right guard, Matt Lee, the center. You get 6-7 yards on first down running the ball, that's how you stay ahead of the chains. That's great for your offense.
Our first whistle of the season. Movement on the line.
Ball start, offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty, second down.
I just gave Inez Cooper a shout out, and it's a little false start. And, you know, those are the penalties that drive coaches nuts, those pre-snap penalties. But it's early. You're going to get those in game 1. Just got to shake it off and get back at it.
After the false start, 2nd and 8 for the Canes, trying to cash in on the first drive of the 2023 football season. Van Dyke throwing for the first time. Quick hitter. Here's Colby Young. Check out the speed. Colby Young is gone. Touchdown, Hurricanes.
Tunnel screen, beautiful. Quick release by Van Dyke. Matt Lee, the center, gets out in front. Jalen Rivers, the left tackle, out in front. You get it to your speedster, Colby Young. Down the left sideline he goes. No substitution for speed on his way to the house.
In the battle for Miami, Colby Young strikes first for the Hurricanes. 44-yard score. What a start to the season for Mario Cristobal's Miami. 7-0 Hurricanes early. First, and what a debut for new offensive coordinator Shannon Dawson. A 3-play drive that results in a touchdown.
Yeah, showed a little attitude to the Hurricanes up front with that offensive line, established the running game, and then that quick wide receiver tunnel screen to Colby Young. Quick release by Van Dyke, and just the athleticism and speed on the outside. No one was catching Colby Young.
Andy Borregales puts his leg through it. That'll be a touchback. What does that do, Rini, for this Miami Hurricanes defense now after you see your offense explode? Now there's a real buzz here at Hard Rock Stadium going against Brett Gabbert and the RedHawks offense.
I mean, the defense all camp saw the offense and this new offense, but you never really know, right, until the lights are on and you're playing that game. And for them to go out and score in this first possession like they did, the defense is like, all right, the offense is back this year. Let's go match them now and play just as well.
A real shot in the arm to start this season going against Brett Gabbert, younger brother of longtime NFL quarterback Blaine Gabbert. Kevin Davis in the backfield on Gabbert's left hip. Gabbert steps up in the pocket, dials up a deep shot that overthrew Gage Larvidan, the junior transferring in from southeastern Louisiana. You like Chuck Martin dialing up a shot on your first offensive play of the season?
Well, we spoke with Coach Martin earlier this week, and he said he was going to take a lot of shots. Well, they didn't wait at all. First down, and you know, Larvidan, the transfer in from Southwest Louisiana, they raved about this kid. He may be their best wide receiver.
That one had too much on it from Gabbert. Throw it again, quick hitter to the flat. Gobbled up immediately. Right back to Larvidan, no room to run, only a gain of 4. 3rd and 6 upcoming for the RedHawks.
Yeah, to Corey Couch, the nickel there coming inside out. It's a fast defensive unit for Lance Guidry. They fly to the football, and then when we talked to Cam Kitchens, the All-American safety this week, he said a lot of movement, aggressive. This defense of unit loves Lance Guidry and what he brought here.
Kane showing pressure on a 3rd and 6. Movement. And that'll back up the RedHawks 5 yards.
Full start, offense, number 9, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
And the movement from the defense of the Hurricanes caused that. Kenny Tracy, the running back, really was going to step up and block. One of the blitzers got a little impatient, false start, and now you're 3rd and 11. Great spot for the Hurricanes defense.
And now, if you're the defensive front for the Hurricanes, you can really pin your ears back. Get after Gabbert, especially after he said, we'll show the Hurricanes who the real Miami is. They're going to get after the junior quarterback, and he's swallowed up, blown up in the backfield. Jafari Harvey, the first sack of the season for the Canes.
And they didn't blitz. You're just going to see a bunch of twists and stunts underneath. Harvey fights off it, gets through the block, and gets to Gabbert for the sack. Nigel Kelly, number 9, he ran all the way around with the stunt, and Harvey was able to slide up in front and get that sack.
Dom Jobin punts it away. Restrepo waiting for it, backs up to his own 20. Has speed, breaks 2 tackles, that's hit. So a longer field to work with after a first drive that went 3 plays, 56 yards for Tyler Van Dyke. It is Miami Hurricanes offense. Mario Cristobal had to be happy with the way his offense looked after a disappointing first season, just 5-7 back at his alma mater, and the roster has been rebuilt and they're already producing here in game 1.
You know, when you show back up to take over a program, right, the cards are dealt, the hand's dealt, what you have, and you got to work with it. He's worked really hard from last year to this year to turn this roster over. We talked about 41 new scholarship players, big-time recruits, transfer portal, new coordinators. He's ready to go here in year 2.
Play clock for 25 seconds. It will start on my signal.
And from everything I've studied and watched and talked to, there's no doubt in my mind, Jay, this is going to be a vastly different Hurricanes team from last year.
Already got a glimpse of that on the first drive of the season. Let's see how they followed up. Flip out, Brashard Smith trying to find the edge. Tiptoeing on the sideline. It is met right at the line of scrimmage. When you talk about changing the DNA of the program, it all starts with who you're recruiting. in the U, a top 5 recruiting class. You take a look at those ESPN 300 recruits, they had 15 of them. Some already starting, like Francis Maui-Noah, the right tackle, just 18 years old, getting the start today for Miami. Jacoby George moves the chains on a gain of 11.
And right there, Tyler Van Dyke shows you his arm talent, right? He's at the far hash, throws that deep out across the field. Good catch by George, turns it up and picks up a first down. I mean, Tyler Van Dyke can make all the throws. You give him protection and put a running game around him, watch out, because his numbers could be off the charts this season. I know it's first game, a little excited, but if you're a Hurricane fan, you got to be happy.
Another quick hitter, getting the ball out really quickly. Jacoby George on the grab.
Corey Tuttle there to defensive end. Good pursuit there to come and make that tackle from behind, because if he doesn't make that tackle, that one has a chance to get out the chute on the other end.
Now they scored on a very similar play. And Van Dyke having a really strong showing. He's completed every ball he's thrown so far today. Make it 5 for 5. This one goes for a first down. Colby Young, who scored the touchdown on the opening drive, picks up 9 there.
And just a nice little stop route by Colby Young. Good protection, good throw by Van Dyke. You know, when we spoke with Shannon Dawson, the offensive coordinator, he knows, listen, it's not rocket science. When you have this much talent, get the ball to your skilled players in space with room and let them go. They believe they have a lot of matchups won out there, and you can see the quick delivery. They haven't stretched the field yet. They haven't gone vertical yet. It's all been underneath stuff, but they got the athletes to make moves and break tackles.
A.J. Allen, the transfer from Nebraska, in the backfield. He gets the carry. He's got plenty of speed, too. That's a great weapon for Van Dyke, too, when you can have that balanced run to pass.
You need it. You need balance. You know, and it's funny because Shannon Dawson came from Houston. Dana Holgorsen, they call it an air raid. Everyone thinks you're going to throw it around. Now, it's balance. It's a friendly offense for a quarterback, but they run the ball a good amount as well.
Right back to Allen. Tripped up. Only a gain of 3. Sets up a 3rd and manageable, though. Good tackle by Austin Erdl.
And this is the part of the field here. If you're Mario Cristobal, you tell Shannon Dawson, you have 2 downs to pick this up. This is 4-down territory here. So this 3rd down call, you know, might not be indicative of what you really want to run to pick it up, knowing you have 2 downs, but we'll see.
Would you think about taking a shot here?
I would, yes.
Instead, they go back to Allen. 3rd straight carry. That one enough to keep the drive alive. Gain of 5 for the first down.
And that's their bread and butter. It's 11 personnel, 1 running back, 1 tight end, 3 wide receivers. And again, good push. You see Matt Lee with the reach block there, and a good job by the running back, A.J. Allen, just to bounce it, square those shoulders, and pick up the first down. And again, love the new rule. Clock doesn't stop now after a first down.
And after 3 straight carries for Allen, in comes the true freshman Mark Fletcher, 4-star ESPN 300 running back. Mario Cristobal said he's an absolute stud. Miscommunication there between Van Dyke and the intended target.
Yeah, Isaiah Horton looked like he was blocking downfield. Van Dyke thought he was going to go out, timing it up, and that's just a mistake, I believe, by Isaiah Horton.
Yeah, first incompletion of the season for Tyler Van Dyke. He was a perfect 5 for 5 before that throw. 9th play of the drive. Van Dyke and the Hurricanes offense already into RedHawks territory. Rain starts to come back down here at Hard Rock Stadium. Here's Fletcher, his first run, and didn't have any room to run. Brian Ugo shot right in to make the stop. Transfer from Rutgers. This is the first 3rd and long that the Hurricanes offense has had to deal with today.
Yeah, and Bill Bretchen, the defensive coordinator for the RedHawks, 2nd year there. Again, get them 3rd and long. That's where you want to go defensively. See if they can get them off the field here.
3rd and 9, 10th play of the drive. Van Dyke throws a deep ball into double coverage. Incomplete. There's a flag down at the 12-yard line.
Holding, defense, number 2. 10-yard penalty, first down.
So the drive kept alive due to a defensive holding penalty. You've seen McKee called for it.
Yeah, and when the receiver broke to the middle of the field, McKee just gave him a tug, enough to get that flag out, and that's a tough penalty because that's going to give the Hurricanes a first down.
That's a backbreaker if you're the RedHawks. Your defense has been on the field this entire quarter. You've already given up a touchdown, and now you give Miami a fresh set of downs inside the 35-yard line. Great opportunity for the Canes to cash in again. Fletcher rumbles forward, the 4-star freshman, churning those legs. Gain of 3.
So this was an offense last year that finished the season average about 90th in the country. So the back end yards per play about 5.3. If you can improve that by just 1 yard per play, that's going to put you in the top 20 in the country.
And that's where they expect to be.
Yes.
A couple of big hits still going. Colby Young in the pouring rain. Gain of 11. Really impressive physicality from Colby Young.
Big, strong receiver, 6'5", 215 pounds, makes the catch, secures it, breaks one tackle, comes through yards after contact, just churning those legs. You love to see that out of your wide receivers.
Knocking on the doorstep of the red zone. 1st and 10 at the 20. Tyler Van Dyke looking really strong in the first game of the season.
Love this rain. You know, my mother was a mutter. Love this rain. It's my kind of weather right here.
Well, Miami, Ohio doing a lot better against the run on this drive. Fletcher only takes it for 1. They've got 2 stout defensive tackles, Kobe Hilton, Austin Ertl up front.
Well, Jaquez Warren, the safety, was in the box that time too, so obviously they need to stop the run. You got to get an extra hat in that box, and that time it was 6, Jaquez Warren.
And if you're the RedHawks, holding for a field goal would feel like a victory here.
Absolutely.
It's been one-way traffic in this first quarter. Miami looking for more. Henry Parrish back into the game. There's Chuck Martin, head coach for Miami, Ohio. RedHawks in his 10th season. 45 wins, 3rd most in school history. He has done a terrific job turning around this program, and he loves playing the big boys. He goes, this is what this program's all about. We'll play anybody, anywhere.
Does not shy away from it. It makes them better in back play.
14th play of the drive. His defense trying to get off the field. Tyler Van Dyke has other ideas. Takes a shot. Incomplete. The rain started to come down. I think Horton lost his footing there.
Yeah, it looks like he tangled up with the defender, and I think Horton actually ran into him, which he did. And listen, the defender, which is Jaquez Warren, he's just standing there. He's allowed to stand there. That's his ground too, and the receiver has to avoid him. And that's just a young receiver in Isaiah Horton. He's going to learn. He's going to get better.
34-yard field goal attempt, first of the season for Andy Borregales, the younger brother of Jose, who won the Lou Groza Award in 2020. Andy would love to find himself at the Lou Groza Award at the end of the season. And good start, 1-for-1, the U up 10-0.
They're already aligned with Stanford, so hopefully, if you're an ACC member, Commissioner Jim Phillips, when Notre Dame decides to get into a conference, and it could be pretty soon, I believe the ACC is that #1 target for Notre Dame.
What I think is really cool is that with that 50 to 60 million annually, some of that's going to be put in a pool that will be divided on how much a program wins. If you're Mario Cristobal and the Hurricanes, you're thinking, okay, let's chase that money, and added incentive to win your league.
How about the fact that SMU is not going to take TV money for 9 years? I mean, you got it. The ACC's like, come on in. And that's a great program. And listen, the Canes fans, Rhett Lashley, that head coach at SMU, was the offensive coordinator here. So the Canes fans know him well.
I heard you weren't taking money for 9 years.
No, I will not. No.
Brett Gabbert and the RedHawks offense, they've dug themselves a 10-0 hole. This 4 days after he gave a press conference where he said, we're going to show everybody September 1st who the real Miami is. You think Cam Kitchens and the defense heard that this week, and a little fuel to the fire? They told us they didn't, but
I tell you though, the Canes defense has a lot of dudes on there, a lot of athletes, right? And they were embarrassed with last year's season, so they have something to prove to themselves. That's what they kept telling us. We just want to get out on the field and prove it to ourselves.
Yeah, they've done a great job so far. Forced a 3-and-out defensively and 2 drives, 2 scores on the offensive end. Back to the run game. Kevin Davis drilled, and it's Cam Kitchens again. Number 5 in orange is everywhere for the Canes defense. ACC football continues tomorrow. A loaded slate. Week 1 of the college football season. Northern Illinois, Boston College, Wofford, Pittsburgh, Colgate at Syracuse, and then the ACC primetime football game of the week. Old Dominion at Virginia Tech. It's going to be a sellout. Enter Sandman's going to be blaring. That's what college football is all about.
Best time of the year. All the fan bases are excited, ready to go.
3rd and 8. Gabbert barking orders at his offensive line. Settles in. Canes showing pressure only. Send 4. Gabbert throws. It's caught, but a yard shy of the first down marker. Needed 8, only got 7. Miles Marshall did well to hold on to that ball.
And as a 5th-year senior, though, Miles Marshall needs to know you got to go a yard deeper. You got to get to the sticks when you sit down for this catch. So when you catch it, you have the first down. Comes up a yard short. You usually don't see that out of a 5th-year senior. For you're the Hurricanes, fine. You want to catch it short? Go ahead. We're just going to come up and make sure you don't pick it up.
Gabbert wanted to go for it, but Chuck Martin sends out the punt unit. Ball at their own 34-yard line. The first punt from Dom Jobin went for 62 yards. This one not quite as long. Restrepo steps up to receive it. Hit pretty immediately. That one only went for 42. Tyler Van Dyke already a 10-0 lead. He's got the ball when we come back. 2 drives, 2 scores. This was the first one to Colby Young. They're making it look easy right now, Rainey.
Yeah, he's 6 for 8 is Van Dyke. 6 for 6 on passes underneath in that 10-yard range. 0 for 2 downfield. Both of those coincidentally going downfield were to Isaiah Horton, where he just couldn't mesh up with him.
Henry Parrish back in. Stable of running backs. It's going to be running back by committee for Tyler Van Dyke in this Canes offense. That means you're always going to have fresh legs behind you. That's a good thing.
Yeah, Parrish transfer from Ole Miss, 5'10", 190. Got that good body on him. Solid running back.
2 drives so far. The first one went 3 plays for a touchdown. The second one, 15 plays, resulted in a field goal. But this Miami, Ohio defense has been on the field all quarter long. We thought that could be a concern for the RedHawks, just not as deep as the Hurricanes. And as this game wears on and as the time of possession is slanted so drastically to the Hurricanes, that'll be tough to compete.
And this is a big play here for this revamped offensive line. You're 3rd and 2, okay? Go get it. I think you run the ball here, you get your back, you give it to Parrish, you get push, and you tell your back to go get this first down. This is an attitude play for a new revamped offensive line.
Now Mario Cristobal takes a timeout.
Timeout. University of Miami, their first timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Now, it's no surprise Mario Cristobal decided to revamp the offensive line. First and foremost, a former offensive lineman himself. He has done a fabulous job. We've already seen the results in this first quarter. when you take a look at what Mario Cristobal has done in a short amount of time, this is only the start of year 2. On paper, it's almost hard to believe how much talent he's moved in through the door. The turnover of 41 scholarship players in just a single season.
And you can do it with the transfer portal now, right? You can bring guys in with experience. And he was quick to tell us, listen, this is year 2. This is a 3-4 year plan. They need more time. But again, this team's going to be vastly better this year.
Won 2 national championships as a player. He told us this program is here to win national championships. Probably need 2 or 3 more years like you've had.
Offense, everyone but the center. 5-yard penalty.
Building that roster. Here we are talking about the offensive line, and we get a false start.
Well, I love when they say everyone with the center. I mean, Matt Lee didn't move, so technically everyone else jumped, not him. No, he obviously forgot the snap count, which is surprising for someone like Matt Lee. So now you're 3rd and 6, going to completely change your play here. But they've been really good with the underneath passes that we talked about in this range. So a big 3rd down early for this offense and a good test for them.
Third and 7 now for Van Dyke. Restrepo in motion. They go to Restrepo. He's going to need to do a lot of work to pick up the first down. Not going to get there. Michael Dowell, great open field tackle for the RedHawks. That's a good stop for this Miami, Ohio defense as they try and grow into this game, because there's no doubt about it, this first quarter belonged to the Hurricanes.
Tremendous job by the defense there, running to the football, led by Michael Dowell. Good job, good stop. RedHawks will get the ball back on the other side.
Lead after the first 15 minutes. First punt of the season, freshman out of Australia, Dylan Joyce. They love their Australian punters here in Miami, really all over college football. Big hit! No fair catch called. And you're going to feel that tomorrow morning. James Williams. Gage Larvidan didn't have a shot.
Great coverage there. Kind of getting blocked in the back as well. Still makes that tackle.
And Williams is one of the best safeties in the country. He just showed why on special teams, and that's good to get that on tape, because guess what? That's going to help you.
He plays linebacker, by the way, and runs like that.
All over. Miami, Ohio looking for a spark. Only 8 total yards of offense in that first quarter. Larvidan, he's got more than 8 yards on this play alone, so already more production in the second quarter than the first. That one went for 14.
Yeah, much like the Hurricanes getting it to their skill players in space, that's what the RedHawks have to do. They get it to Larvidan, who again transferred in, and we were told by many people that, you know, pound for pound, he's the best football player on the team. That's how good he is. He's impressed everyone, and you see him make the catch yards after the catch there to get that first down.
First down of the season for Miami, Ohio. That'll help the total yards count. Rashad Amos into the game for the first time at running back, transfer from South Carolina. Gets the carry, trying to spin his way through. Nothing doing. No gain. KJ Cloyd stuffing the hole there for the Canes.
Yeah, Cloyd, the will linebacker, doing a nice job. You know, when you got a really good active defensive line like you do in front of you, it frees you up at linebacker to get in there and make tackles at the line of scrimmage and get some TFLs. Excellent job by KJ Cloyd right there.
That's the biggest discrepancy between the two Miamis, the size at the line of scrimmage, both sides of the ball. Miami, Ohio just failing to establish this run game. Harvey on the stop for the Canes.
Well, if you notice on that play, Jafari Harvey, number 12, he's playing defensive end. He just shoots down the line of scrimmage. No one blocks him, and he gets to the ball carrier to make that tackle. And so when you have athletes at the defensive end position that are strong, physical, and can run like Harvey, 6'4", 252, it's tough to handle them.
RedHawks looking to get the ball to the 46-yard line to keep the drive alive. Miscommunication between Gabbert and Larvidan, and the RedHawks have to use a timeout. Play clock winding down.
Timeout. Miami of Ohio. Their first timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Head coach Chuck Martin had no choice there, taking a timeout ahead of this 3rd and 9. Now we're here in the state of Florida earlier this week. So many people across the state affected. 3rd and 9 for Gabbert and the RedHawks offense. Desperate for a spark. It's been all Hurricanes in this battle for Miami so far. Completed pass short of the first down. Went right back to Larvidan. He's been the biggest bright spot for the RedHawks today.
And Devontae Brown, number 7, he's another transfer in from UCF. Good job, breaks from that corner spot, comes up, lowers his shoulder, and makes sure he drives back the receiver, Larvidan, so he doesn't get any yards after that catch. Exactly what you want to do from the secondary. If they're going to catch it underneath the sticks, come up and make a sure tackle.
I thought the RedHawks would consider going for it, 4th and 2 near midfield. Instead, it's Alec Bevelheimer on to punt. He's already had 2 punts today. They've both been terrific. Long of 62, an average of 52. The juniors only had 1 career punt before today. Thought a fair catch was called, and it was. The RedHawks didn't see it. There was a clear fair catch called. Another 52-yard punt for Bevelheimer, but instead of great field position for the Miami, Ohio defense, a mental mistake here on special teams is going to erase what would have been a really good punt.
After the play, personal foul, late hit, kicking team, number 97, 15-yard penalty, first down, timeout.
Just a bad error there. You got him pinned inside the 5. He just cannot do that. Hurricanes have the ball when we come back.
Ohio trying to get back into this game, down 10-0. 11:45 left in the second quarter, trying to play field position, and they had the Hurricanes pinned inside the 5 on that punt, but a mental error on special teams, tack on 15 yards because of the penalty. Now a lot more breathing room. Van Dyke operating from his own 19. Picks up an easy first down, just floated it right into Jacoby George, gain of 12.
Yeah, just a deep out, a beautiful pass by Tyler Van Dyke. Good rhythm, good timing. You know, he worked hard with his receivers this offseason, and that's perfectly thrown.
It's just looking too easy right now for Van Dyke. The run game has failed to establish itself, but that's no surprise. This is a Miami, Ohio defense that returns 9 starters.
Timeout for number 8 defense. His helmet came off. Please reset the play clock to 40 seconds. Both clocks will start on my signal.
Returns 9 starters from last season, and they're always a great unit for Chuck Martin, but they're particularly good against the run, and they forced 22 turnovers last year, most of the MAC.
Yeah, and first and foremost, they have to stop the run, and they're making a concerted effort ever since that first drive to do that.
2nd and 10, plenty of time for Van Dyke, unloads a deep ball, it's intercepted! We were just talking about the turnovers, and Michael Dowell, the ball hawk safety, comes up with a huge pick for the RedHawks.
Well, Dowell was sitting underneath. Van Dyke never saw him. Dowell does a great job to come off, make that interception, and a huge play for the RedHawks.
And here's why.
Yeah, and Michael Dowell, the safety, was up close, playing almost like a linebacker position underneath. Lets his guy go across the formation. It just drops back center field, reads the eyes of Tyler Van Dyke, and makes a phenomenal interception and a big takeaway for the RedHawks.
Dowell, one of those 9 returning starters on defense. His first interception of the season, the transfer from Michigan State. He's found home with the RedHawks, and this is the best field position of the day for Brett Gabbert and this Miami, Ohio offense. Can they capitalize? Taking a shot on first down, or trying to. Gabbert's going to run. Smartly slides just past the 45 for a gain of 5.
Good coverage downfield. Pocket collapses. Gabbert gets out, and 44 Ruben Bain for the Hurricanes is just hustling. He's one of those 4- or 5-star recruits, true freshman. It's going to compete and play for the Hurricanes this year. We spoke with him this week too. He's a big-time player for the Hurricanes.
Well, and Ruben Bain is an example of exactly what Mario Cristobal wants the U to look like. A Miami, Florida kid, played high school ball at Miami Central, stayed home to play at the U. Play clock winding down. Gabbert gets the snap off, puts it right in the belly of Rashad Amos. He's driven back. Only a gain of 1. This is a 3rd and manageable, though, for Gabbert and the Miami, Ohio offense. You just get the feeling that the RedHawks have to try and capitalize off the good field position after the interception.
And you talked about it earlier. They're really looking for that spark play, that chunk play to get them going. They had one to Larvidan a little bit, but really nothing to get them excited. But first and foremost, they want to pick this up and keep this drive alive here.
0 for 3 on 3rd down today. They've been at 3rd and 11, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. Very manageable 3rd and 3. Canes send pressure. Down goes Gabbert. Shot out of a cannon. Wesley Besaint. Loss of 9 on the 3rd down sack.
Lance Guidry told us, I am aggressive. I want to get after it. He's showing the RedHawks a bunch of different looks, a bunch of different blitzes. That time it's Wesley Besaint stepping up, the linebacker. And as you said, shot out of a cannon as he gets to Brett Gabbert for the sack.
Bevelheimer back out there for Miami, Ohio. This will be his 4th punt already of the night, averaging 52 yards per punt. That one didn't quite travel that far. And the RedHawks, missed opportunity. They got the interception, couldn't cash in on it. The Hurricanes defense looking stout in the home opener. They've got a 10-0 lead.
We're launching futures.
No pun intended, but the biggest storyline coming into the season was this bolstered offensive line. There's the true freshman, Francis Maui Noah, #1 offensive tackle in the 2023 recruiting class. He's starting at right tackle tonight for the Hurricanes. He just turned 18 years old. Mario Cristobal said he's super mature, though. They ran it to his side on the last play.
Everybody has raved about Francis Maui Noah. They said they had, the instruments on him. They said they timed him at 18 miles an hour, that big running. Are you kidding me? Not a lot of body fat.
He does not look 18 years old.
No. He's a man already.
He's anchoring that right tackle position. The Canes offensive line still without Zion Nelson. He hopes to return about mid-season as the ground game continues to plow forward. And obviously, Javion Cohen, the left guard, transfer from Alabama. Matt Lee, the transfer from UCF. But going forward, you're going to want to try and get it done through recruiting. Bring these kids in at freshmen. Top 2 recruits in the 2023 class, both on that offensive line.
And I talked about it. If you're Mario Cristobal, if you can put that proverbial fence around South Florida, there's enough talent here to really get your program going. And it prevents other schools from coming in here, taking those players away.
3rd and 2. Good test for the offensive line. Let's see if they decide to run behind it. They do. Huge hole. A.J. Allen breaks free. Only needed 2. Got a big gain of 16.
When I was doing my prep for A.J. Allen, the one thing that kept coming up is vision. Watch him. He presses the hole, sees Off the right, the defender coming, he presses and he bounces. That's vision, that's speed, and then he squares the shoulders up, gets north and south. I love that out of a running back. It's efficient, it's good. Excellent job, A.J. Allen.
Now talking about that freshman class, as Allen gets a breather, Mark Fletcher comes in, physical 4-star stud in at running back. He gets the carry. Another big hole opens up. How about Mark Fletcher? Back-to-back big gains. That one goes for 19.
So I have 2 words on my chart next to Mark Fletcher. One is stud, and the other one is physical, because that's what Mario Cristobal kept telling us about him. And as you said it, Jay, true freshman. He was playing in high school last year. He's 6'2", 225 out of American Heritage. Another guy that looks more like a man, not a freshman.
Really strong first impression for this top 5 recruiting class. Brought in to rebuild this proud program. I'm sure lots of alums. It's only week 1, starting to dream that hope renewed under Mario Cristobal. You said it. Most importantly, yes, it's a top 5 recruiting class, but a lot of that talent, local talent.
Yeah. And I just love how Fletcher finished the run there. That was Jeremiah Caldwell, the corner. 6'3", 180, taking on a 225-pound back. You don't want that at all.
On this drive, they've really established the run. 49 yards on 5 runs. Here's another one. Fletcher again bounced out of bounds. Matt Lee, the transfer from UCF, making a big impact at center.
Jalen Rivers, 64, was out there too. Now, the one thing I would tell Mark Fletcher, have a little patience. Let him get out there, cut back, get your hand on big 55, guide him where you want to go. You might be able to cut that back for more yards, but boy, when you have a center that can pull like that, you got Cam McCormick, 84, the tight end out there as well. Mark Fletcher, the young running back's liking that.
He has had plenty of room to run on this drive. Canes back in the red zone. 1st and 10. Movement.
Full start. Offense. Number 81. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Matthew McCoy, the redshirt freshman, called for false start there.
Trying to get a little head start. He was coming down, looked like on a linebacker.
Well, Miami, Ohio in jeopardy of allowing another Hurricane score. It feels like it's been one-way traffic this entire first half. It really feels like it should be more than 10-0. So if you're the RedHawks, hold them for a field goal, go into halftime, regroup. Because the momentum of this game has been all Canes. A.J. Allen burst through the hole, only a gain of 5 though, tripped up.
Yeah, you know, the first 2 possessions for the Hurricanes, 18 plays, 122 yards and those 10 points. The last 2 before this one, 6 plays, only 15 yards of punt and interception. So if you're a Hurricanes fan, you're really glad to see this possession here right before half. See if they can put it in the end zone and finish it off here.
This drive all on the ground. 59 yards on this drive. Every single one of those yards through the ground game.
That's a dream for me. I love it.
The former running back says. Here's Van Dyke, rolls out. Did well to get the ball away, but incomplete. Trying to pick out Restrepo.
But it almost looks like, you know, he's throwing it away, but nice job by Xavier Restrepo to come back and make a nice effort on this ball. He's trying to say he caught it. Line judge says, nope, you're out.
And he was.
Yeah, clearly out. Good call by the line judge there. Great position by this crew.
Good 3rd down test here for Tyler Van Dyke and the Canes offense. Just inside the red zone, 2 for 4 on 3rd down tonight. Trying to get this drive to result in a touchdown, not settle for 3. Empty set for Van Dyke, gets rid of it quickly. Here's Isaiah Horton. trying to spin his way free, and he's brought down well shy of that first down marker. Great pursuit from Corey Suttle to prevent the first down.
An excellent pursuit there by Suttle. And this RedHawks defense come up, make that tackle, and you said it's a win, for them to keep the Hurricanes out of the end zone, force another field goal attempt here.
Borregales already 1 for 1 tonight. Made it from 34. This is from 33. Borregales makes it look easy. He's 2 for 2 to start the season. The Canes, they've got a lot of the momentum, and now a 13-0 lead with 2:33 left in the half.
I don't know how you don't.
Reporting in is number 36.
Week 1 of the college football season here at Hard Rock Stadium. Reedy Angolia, Jay Alter with you. The Confusion Bowl, as it was called in 1945, before the first ever meeting between Miami, Ohio, and Miami here in Florida. And it's funny digging into the history of these two schools. It was funny, Miami University in Oxford, Ohio, it was founded more than 100 years before the University of Miami was founded in Florida. Miami, Ohio, actually the 10th oldest public university in the entire United States. RedHawks trailing in the Miami Bowl right now, 13-0. As we remind you, the ACC Huddle back tomorrow, live from Blacksburg. Kelsey Riggs, Eric McLean, EJ Manuel, Mark Richt, and Eddie Royal. Coverage begins 11 a.m. Eastern Time. You do not want to miss it right here on ACC Network. A loaded slate. The ACC, the story of the weekend here, as college football is back, adding 3 schools today, Cal, Stanford, and SMU. So fired up for the football to be back.
And I love the Huddle. If you're an ACC fan, you cannot miss it. Great stuff for those guys.
I'm sure you'll see highlights from this game on it. RedHawks trying to put some highlights on tape here. The offense has been slow to get going in the first game of the season. Larvidan's been the biggest bright spot. Gabbert picks out his top target once again.
Yeah, he's the weapon they're trying to go to, get him the ball in space. But listen, easier said than done with the athleticism and speed on that Hurricanes defense.
That's what I was going to say. Week 1 is tough for every offense in college football. Us as fans are so excited to have it back. They're still trying to work some things out. And you get penalized for every mistake when you're going against a team as talented as Miami is on the defensive end of the ball, as Larvidan shows off the speed. Brett Gabbert has 6 completions, 5 of them to Gage Larvidan.
Yeah, and that's the spark they need. A good release by Gabbert, puts it on Larvidan in stride, shows you his speed as he turns it up, and RedHawks looking to get a score here before half.
Gain of 30 into Miami territory for the first time tonight. You got to start watching that clock. 2 timeouts, 1:40.
And they're going to go a little quicker tempo, are the RedHawks.
Play action. Gabbert surveys the field, going to tuck and run, but not for much. That clock continues to run. Can't rush this third down.
Yeah, take your time here. I mean, you just obviously want to try to get a score here.
I think about taking a timeout.
Yeah, they got 2 and they took 1 right there. And you want to save
right
that
on
one. Save that one in your back pocket in case you have to kick it.
I think that's smart.
It is. And they didn't rush it either. They took their time. Chuck Martin thought about, okay, let's take 1 here. We got 1:09 left. But to your point, Jay, first and foremost, you got to pick this third down up.
Tonight and tomorrow, all about college football being back. On Sunday here on ACC Network, women's sports taking over all afternoon. It starts with a terrific volleyball game. Number 5 Pittsburgh hosting Kentucky. That's a top 20 matchup. And then in women's soccer, a top 10 matchup, Arkansas and North Carolina. And then field hockey. So 3 sports, triple header, all right here Sunday on ACC Network. That's been a fun first half for Canes fans after a disappointing campaign 5-7 a year ago. Mario Cristobal rebuilt the roster coming into year 2, and first impression in a brand new season. Sebastian, the mascot, and all the fans, they've got to be happy. Right now holding a shutout late into the first half, trying to keep it that way with the RedHawks offense. This is the furthest they've come to the opposing 31-yard line. Can Gabbert keep the drive alive? 0 for 4 on third down tonight. Trying to get the ball to the 25-yard line. Quick release, dialing up a deep shot. It's incomplete. Over the head of Miles Marshall. Darryl Porter in coverage for the Canes. And now what do you do here? 4th and 6, Randy?
Porter, first of all, step for step was in the hip pocket. Great coverage. And I just, you're in that tweener land here. I thought he might go for it, but they're going to try a long field goal. Try to get some points on the board, get some momentum. And they're going to try to kick it here.
Risky decision. This is a long field goal for Graham Nicholson. 48-yard attempt on the road. Swings his leg through it. Nicholson from 48 buries it. That had plenty of leg on it.
Well, now you know why Chuck Martin made the decision he did, because Graham Nicholson looked good. That would have been good from about 55 at least.
His career long is 49. And he just drilled it from 48. Confident kick from the junior out of Cincinnati, Ohio. The pride and joy of Summit High School.
And positive momentum for the RedHawks there to get that 3 before half. Still got 58 seconds. Got to send that defense back out there and make sure you get into the locker room 13-3.
I don't know about you. It's felt a little lopsided for the Hurricanes, and yet if you're Chuck Martin and the RedHawks, you're only down 10 and you get the ball coming out to start the second half.
That's what happens when you don't finish drives with touchdowns. When you settle for field goals, you keep teams in it. If the Hurricanes score a couple touchdowns instead of those field goals, you're talking about 21-3 right now, and you're feeling a lot different about things. But as to your point, 13-3, RedHawks are going to feel good as long as they can get a stop here with 58 seconds, not let the Canes go down and put any more points on the board.
And Miami does have 2 timeouts. How aggressive do you want to be if you're offensive coordinator Shannon Dawson and quarterback Tyler Van Dyke?
Well, the good news is the RedHawks only have 1 timeout. So really, I think what most offensive coordinators do, it all depends on what you do on first down here. Got the ball at the 25-yard line. If you can get a little breathing room, you can pick up some yardage here on first down, 6-7 yards. Then I think you go in a hurry with those 2 timeouts and try to push it down the field and get into field goal range. But to me, it's all predicated on first down here, what you do. And if you get stuffed and go backwards here on first down, then I think you just kind of regroup, go easy, and get into the locker room. But let's see what they do on first down here.
Three wide receivers set for Van Dyke. Decide to hand it off. Henry Parrish, so a conservative play call there, even though he pushed the pile. Kept those legs churning for a gain of 11, so that will stop the clock.
Correct, because the new rule, under 2 minutes left in the half in the game, it'll stop after a first down like it used to. So now they're going to go. They're going to go with a little tempo here after this play.
Van Dyke looking to throw, slings it. It's caught at the 40. Another first down for the Hurricanes. Now it's interesting, the clock did continue to run for a couple of seconds there, then halted at 30. It's going to get it adjusting to for the clock guy. You haven't stopped it all half.
Yep.
It's a new rule, but it does stop until the ball spotted under 2 minutes. Plenty of room. Van Dyke wide open. All the way to the 27-yard line. Jacoby George. There's a flag down as well.
Yeah, they're going to get Matt Lee.
Number 61.
Oh, no,
10-yard penalty.
Actually, Francis Maui. No, I thought it was going to be Matt Lee.
Wind or snap?
Yeah.
You want to wind it along the...
Good protection here, but 61 right in the middle. You see Maui is kind of Whenever you grab a guy like that and you're going to try to like bull rush him to the ground, and that was Caden Woolard, 90, with a good bull rush. The umpire sees that, he throws that flag for holding. And it's the right call. Take a look at the new rules, and again, that clock will continue to run after a first down, except the last 2 minutes of the second quarter, and the fourth quarter goes back to the old time.
And you still have 2 timeouts here. Plenty of room. Here's Henry Parrish galloping all the way to the 25-yard line. A gain of 37 and caught out of bounds with 7 seconds to spare.
The absolute backbreaker for the RedHawks. Great vision by Henry Parrish. Good job, takes it backside. Good blocking downfield by Isaiah Horton. Parrish gets out of bounds, and now with your timeouts left here, you're at the 25. Obviously, you're in field goal range.
You have time to run one more play.
You got time to take a shot here for sure. But you got to be careful if you're Tyler Van Dyke here. You can't scramble around. Got enough for one play here and then kick a field goal.
Here's Van Dyke. Threw it over the head of Horton, and now Miami will get the field goal unit on.
And that's the experience of Tyler Van Dyke. He looked, it wasn't there, he throws it out of bounds. 3 seconds left, get a chance to get that 3 back you just gave up to the RedHawks.
.43-yard attempt. Andy Borregales already 2 for 2 on the night. And this one hits the upright. It sails right through just by a matter of inches.
A little kiss off the upright.
To really help solidify the conference financially, academically, and athletically. I think those are all going to be really good things for the ACC coming into the near term and well into the future as well.
Dan, I'm curious now, just because usually when these things happen, you get a unanimous vote. Didn't have it. That doesn't cause any issues, though, right? You understand everyone's kind of take on it, right?
For sure. People talk a lot about that kind of issue of not having a unanimous vote, but there's so many things that happen, within the league that aren't unanimous votes. So, it's not unusual for that to happen, but, everybody had their thought process. Everybody had an opportunity to say their piece, and, as it ended up, we were able to bring those 3 quality institutions into the league.
We're joined by Miami Athletic Director Dan Radakovich as the ACC expanding today to 17 football members, 18 total members when you include Notre Dame and the non-football sports. California, SMU, Stanford joining for the 2024-2025 season. And Dan, you mentioned financially, this is going to add 50 to 60 million a year annually. That's what's being reported. And what I like is it's being allocated, some of it performance-based. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the performance-based, the success initiatives were something that the athletic directors talked a lot about, and the presidents looked at and said, you know what, that's a good idea. Let's look at what those exact parameters are going to be to have those success incentives, and they've been working on that. And we're at the point right now where we think we're in a good spot to be able to roll those out here very shortly, probably the next time we're together as athletic directors, and really understand it, and also know that it's not going to be this year's circumstance for success initiatives. It's going to be next year when the college football playoff expands and when Cal, Stanford, and SMU join the league. So we have a year to kind of think about it, make sure everything is buttoned up, and then move forward with it.
Dan, the other exciting thing I believe has to be for you guys in the conference is, football in particular has become national. We know that. But now the ACC is going to have a footprint in California, but also in Texas, 2 of the biggest states in the country. So that's got to be nice for the schools in the conference with those schools coming in.
Sure, adding 2 more time zones is really going to help from the standpoint of windows and opportunities to show our product. And we continue as a league. I mean, we've had teams who won national championships and have been at high levels for a long period of time. And now we have other programs that are beginning to build to that level. So being able to spread that across the country, I think, will be just incredible.
On 3rd and 3, incomplete. This Hurricanes defense continues to dominate. We're joined by their athletic director, Dan Radakovich. Let's talk about this football team. Year 2 under Mario Cristobal, just talking with the players, the coaching staff this week. There's a lot of buzz about this new group, 41 new scholarship players from year 1 to year 2 under Mario Cristobal. From your vantage point, how has this program improved?
Well, Jay, I think that, Mario and his staff have done a really good job in creating a positive message within the program. We talk about culture all the time, and I think it's really more of a mindset. And I think the mindset of these young men has really improved and is moving forward. And a day like today, where they're playing well, there's probably Coach Cristobal probably said you left a few points on the field, at halftime, but that's a football coach. That's what he's supposed to do. But I think the confidence that they're playing in, how they're playing, is a real step in the right direction, because he's been able to bring in some of the players that he feels are really important, building the program from the lines, offensive and defensive.
Dan, talk about some of the things you're doing on campus. I know you got some new facilities going in there, and you guys are really excited about that.
We are. We're very, very hopeful that this fall we're going to break ground on a 170,000 square foot football operations center, be the forever home of the Miami Hurricanes football team. It's really something that our university needs and really is excited about. Our coaches are, our donors. We have great donors, and they see the value in having that type of facility, because a lot of the schools that we compete against have that type of spot where the players can go and get their day-to-day work done, but also a place where they can relax, recharge, and really bond together as a program.
And I'm going to ask what all the fans out there are thinking they want me to ask. Any chance down the road an on-campus stadium in Coral Gables?
No, I don't think so.
No.
That might be a bridge too far.
Okay.
And when you're in a building like this,
beautiful facility, absolutely.
This is absolutely phenomenal. So we're very fortunate to have a great relationship with the Miami Dolphins. Their whole organization has been fantastic to us, and the opportunity to come and play in a facility like this is just special to all these young men.
Absolutely.
Now joined by Miami Athletic Director Dan Radakovich. Gave us some great insight about the ACC expanding with the additions of SMU, Cal, and Stanford, and now going to enjoy the Miami offense going to work. The ground game was punishing in that first half, and they picked up where they left off with the 4-star freshman Mark Fletcher. He's an embodiment of what Mario Cristobal wants this program to be, which is South Florida talent that they keep home. He told us, you look at Mark Fletcher, that's what I want Miami to look like.
And such a great young man. I mean, Mark is just, you're right, he is what we need. Great talent here in South Florida, staying home playing for the Hurricanes. And he does a phenomenal job of that.
Van Dyke knows there's a flag down, takes a shot, finds Restrepo, plenty of room to run. Restrepo turns upfield, finally brought down at the 26.
And that's just the smarts, the intelligence of a Tyler Van Dyke. Knew he had a free play, rolls out to the left.
Offside, defense, penalties.
Scramble rules, lets his receivers move. Restrepo comes back to him, he puts it on him, and then yards after the catch, they can decline that offsides. And just an excellent job by Restrepo and Tyler Van Dyke.
They're best friends, they're roommates, they've got great chemistry on and off the field. And in a broken play like that, that chemistry comes to life. Hurricanes offense shot out of a cannon to start this third quarter. Right back to Fletcher, runs through it, touchdown, Hurricanes! The first of likely many touchdowns in a Miami uniform for the 4-star freshman Mark Fletcher.
Great blocking up front. You see the big tackle or guard, and S. Cooper pull out in front. Mark Fletcher gets behind him, downhill, square those shoulders. Power and speed for the 225-pound running back as he takes it into the end zone, as Jay said, for his first career touchdown.
Gosh, that was some great blocking, guys. I mean, you got to love the big guys up front, and boy, Inez Cooper, who's really reshaped his body from when he first came here, to be able to come and move it like that. I mean, that's just that's just puts a big smile on Coach Cristobal's face as an old offensive lineman.
Absolutely. We've talked a lot about that bolstered offensive line, and they're going for 2 to try and make it 24 after reaching pay dirt to start this third quarter. Plenty of time. That offensive line doing their job, and that'll count for 2. Restrepo cashes in on just a terrific drive offensively.
Yeah, nice little option route by Restrepo. Good timing by Van Dyke as he cuts it back in, puts it on him, and a 2-point conversion.
Dan, good drive for you to be here.
I love it. I love it. Thanks, guys.
We appreciate the time and the insight.
Appreciate it, Jay.
Thanks, Dan.
Hurricanes rolling up 24-3. One thing you knew about the Miami Hurricanes headed into this season is they have a loaded running back room. 4 guys that are all capable of being the #1 guy. On that last drive, it was Mark Fletcher, a touchdown. He's got 9 carries, 76 yards as a group, Rainey, 188 yards on the ground.
Yeah, and that was Tim Parrish Jr. You saw in that huddle talking to him. He's the running back coach. Another new coach for Mario Cristobal. A great get. He's a very good running back coach.
Let's take another look at the touchdown run.
Just watch an S. Cooper 73 quick pull. You see Fletcher press and then get behind that big offensive guard. Great kick out block. And then the explosion for Fletcher. Now, the only thing I would tell him is get that ball in the left hand. Get it to the outside. He'll learn.
What a debut for the 4-star freshman. Mario Cristobal told us, this is what I want Miami to look like going forward. South Florida kids that stay home, highly touted recruits that produce instantly. A first game of the season already, an instant impact for Mark Fletcher. And if you're the RedHawks and Brett Gabbert, the hole gets that much deeper, trailing by 21 now.
You know, and just the other thing I like about that Canes offense, they told us they were going to use all 4 backs. They've done that tonight. And then they said they'd go with the hot hand. Well, we saw who the hot hand was, Fletcher, the end of the first half, and they go with him in the third, and he finishes it off with a touchdown.
And Mario Cristobal, in our interview with him walking off the field in the first half, said he was happy, but he wanted to finish some of those drives, not settle for field goals, turn them into touchdowns. What do they do?
And they did it.
First drive, touchdown. RedHawks certainly on the back foot here. Amos, a transfer from South Carolina, not much doing there.
And this defensive front for the Hurricanes has played outstanding. And because of that, really no room for Gabbert to throw the ball down the field. I mean, you've got to be balanced, you know, and Hurricane fans know that. If you can't run the ball, it's hard to throw the ball. And
if you're a Miami, Ohio fan, you might be frustrated with the offensive performance tonight, but it's games like this that'll prepare you for the ultimate goal, which is winning a MAC championship.
No doubt about it.
3rd and 7. Canes have usually dialed up pressure on 3rd and longs today under first-year defensive coordinator Lance Guidry. They send 4. Gabbert steps up, finds the tight end. Jack Coldiron for a first down. The perfect name for a tight end, particularly playing on Tuesday nights in November. Yeah. Coldiron.
And it's the first time they targeted him. He was very good last year and just kind of gets lost down that right sideline. Good pass by Gabbert and much needed play for the RedHawks.
Throwing again. Larvidan. Solid gain on first down after a 23-yard gain through the air. And it's Coldiron who just made that great catch for the first down, who's down after the run, getting treated to. We'll step aside. Be right back.
Sometimes all you need to change your life is a song.
Tight end Jack Coldiron, who made a great play to keep this Miami, Ohio drive alive. Banged up after the catch.
And you're going to see defensive back Devontae Brown, number 7, come. Go low. That's kind of what they do. That's a good hard hit, and just he's going to get up and get a little limpy. So that's obviously where the issue was right there. Tough player as Coldiron plays another play and then has to come out. You got to hope he's okay.
The RedHawks marching into Hurricanes territory. Second and 6 at the Hurricanes 42. They've let Gabbert throw more on this drive, and he's been pretty successful. He's completed his last 3. Pressure coming, throws off his back foot, did well to get rid of it, but threw it away.
And that's all he was trying to do, is get that ball out of there. James Williams, the boundary safety, was coming. And 6'5", 215-pound safety. Again, I said he can play that Sam linebacker. He shoots through there. Gabbert doesn't have a chance. And you just take a look at those first 4 drives. 23 total yards, 4 punts. Last 3 drives, getting it going a little bit, but only 3 points to show for it.
And you're out of field goal range here. Play clock already down to 12.
Yeah, this is 4-down territory for the RedHawks.
Trailing by 3 touchdowns. Gabbert barking orders at his offensive line. Play clock down to 1. Just gets the snap off. Nobody's open. Gabbert scrambling. Throws it away again. Miami's defense, the Hurricanes that is, very, very impressive tonight.
Well, they're athletic and they can run. So good coverage on the back end. Gabbert looks like he's going to run, and then Francisco Maui Noah, the brother of the highly touted offensive lineman we've been talking about, shoots through there and gets in the face of Gabbert, forcing that throw out of bounds. And as I suspected, you got to go for it here.
And the older Maui Noah, they call him Kiko, transferring in from Washington State. Here we go, the RedHawks trying to keep the drive alive. 4th and 6. Gabbert rolls left, slings it, incomplete. Big hit. Couch knocks this ball loose.
Well, they got the play they want, a little crossing route, but Corey Couch is sitting right there. Makes the big hit on Miles Marshall. Ball gets knocked away and turned over on downs.
Turnover on downs. It's a rebolstered, retooled offensive line for the Hurricanes from year 1 to year 2 under Mario Cristobal and Rainey. They've been really impressive.
Yeah, just a more aggressive bunch, athletic. They're pulling, 55. Matt Lee really has been the biggest acquisition, if you will, in the transfer portal. He comes to the Hurricanes from UCF, kind of anchoring that offensive line, but they look dynamite tonight.
Van Dyke throwing on 1st down. It's caught. Colby Young. He has been the top target tonight. A touchdown, and now over 45 yards.
Yeah, and that's the best downfield pass we've seen Tyler Van Dyke throw to Colby Young. That's kind of a bang 8, they call that. That's a quick post on time with rhythm by Tyler Van Dyke, excuse me. That's a nice throw.
Great field position already for this offense to operate in. Don Chaney out of the backfield. Couldn't quite turn the corner there.
And that was the same play they scored the touchdown on with Fletcher. Cooper pulls around. The RedHawks do a nice job attacking at the line of scrimmage. They force Chaney to bounce to the outside, and they make the tackle at the line of scrimmage.
Take a look at the last 2 seasons compared to tonight in terms of rushing yards per attempt. That new offensive line making an instant impact. Mario Cristobal, the head coach of the Hurricanes, knew how important bringing an improved offensive line would be. Obviously won 2 national championships with the Canes, playing on the offensive line, so it's no surprise he went right up front to start retooling and fixing that roster.
And some people might be watching this game and they saw that graphic we put up there and they say, it's game 1, it's the Miami RedHawks. This is a good defense. They bring back 9 starters, the entire defensive front, a bowl team from last year. This is a great first test for the Hurricanes week 1.
They were top 20 in the country last year in stopping the run. So this is a great test for the Miami offense going against a really good RedHawks defense. And don't be surprised if later in the year you see this Miami Ohio team win the MAC. They're one of the best teams in that league this year. Ugu on the stop for the RedHawks, no gain.
I mean, all the guys, we've called out for the RedHawks. Ugu, Suttle, Ertl, Woolard. All returners, all very good players.
4th and 3. What do you do here for Mario Cristobal?
You go, because this is tweener land. This would be about a 54, 55-yard field goal, although Borregales has a strong leg. I think you go for it here. Yeah, easy call.
Good test for your offense with a 3-touchdown cushion. You get a real game live rep on trying to convert on a 4th and 3. Flag down.
So now with a false.
Who jumped first?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a false start. We'll see. If not, it's going to be a first down for the Hurricanes as the referees talk about it here.
False start, offense, number 73, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
So, you know, now Mario Cristobal might actually punt. We'll see. Or he might leave the offense out there and say, all right, go for it. 4th and 8. Yeah, he's leaving the offense out there. And I'm with you, Jay. I think, to me, it's more of like a test, right? We're in a good position here with the lead. Let's see if the offense can convert here. A little harder 4th and 8 than 4th and 3.
And last season, Mario Cristobal's team 9 of 22 on 4th down. Hurricanes need to get the ball to the 33-yard line to keep the drive alive. The other thing is you back yourself up 5 yards, take the false start, and just punt it.
I think they're going to call a timeout here or take the 5. We'll see what they decide to do. And you're right. They're going to take the 5 and punt it. Yeah.
Back your punter up 5 yards. The fans wanted them to go for it.
5-yard penalty, 4th down. Game clock will start.
Probably the wise decision.
I would agree.
You don't want to give Miami, Ohio great field position. They're up by 3 touchdowns. I do think they were going to go for it when it was 4th and 3, but when you get the false start there, I think the safer call is to punt.
They absolutely, definitely were. But, you know, 4th and 8. And I actually like the fact, give your punter a little more room. Don't waste the timeout. Good coaching there by Mario Cristobal.
It's just the 2nd time tonight we've seen the freshman punter Dylan Joyce. Great hang time. Fair catch called for by Larvidan. And the U in the Battle of Miami. They are flexing their muscles. They're back, and it continues with a loaded week 1 in the ACC tomorrow on ACC Network. Northern Illinois at Boston College, Wofford at Pittsburgh. And in the ACC primetime game, Virginia Tech, it is sold out for Old Dominion. You do not want to miss that atmosphere. 8 Eastern time right here on ACC Network. Brady and Golia, Jay Alter with you. Kicking off week 1 with Miami versus Miami, and it has been all Hurricanes. They scored on the first drive of the game, and they have not looked back. What do you think when you take a look at the ACC preseason poll, Rainey? Miami at 5. Do you think they beat it?
I mean, after what they look like so far, I think 5 is probably the proper spot for them preseason, but they have a chance to be better than that. You look at Clemson, Florida State. I don't like Florida State this year. I think this is the year Florida State wins the ACC, and I'm going to tell you today, my prediction, they make the college football playoff the last year of 4 teams.
Canes fans don't want to hear that.
Yeah, well, too bad.
They want to spoil their chances of getting into the playoff. Gabbard in trouble. Ruben Bain in pursuit, the highly touted freshman. There's a flag down.
I think it's big 71. John Kirk is going to get called for, or John Young, excuse me, called for that hold there for the RedHawks.
Holding, offense, number 70. After this, it's the goal penalty, 2nd down.
Will Jados they gave it to. There was a big scrum in the middle there.
If you are Miami, Ohio, this is the danger zone now.
Yes, top of the screen is where they called it 70, but 71 right in the middle held as well. They both held, and I really think they called it on 71.
There might have been holding there, too.
Yeah, I think there was about 3 holdings on that, and they gave it to Jados.
So the RedHawks now pinned deep at the 4-yard line. 2nd and 16. Hurricanes defense is dominated all night long, looking for more. Gabbert puts that one in the ground. Incomplete.
And that's because, and we got a late flag coming here, so we'll see what this is. The only person standing around the umpire threw that ball was a Hurricane, so if they get an unsportsmanlike conduct, it's going to move the RedHawks off the goal line, but we'll have to wait and see. You don't like seeing those late flags if you're a coach.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 56 defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. That's number 56 first, unsportsmanlike conduct of the game.
Yeah, Leonard Taylor, you got to believe he was belly aching to the official, because I believe he thought he's been being held, right? And it's not being called, although they had to hold the play before, and he was in the ear of the official. I could see it right here, no one around him, and you saw that flag come up. They're not going to take that, and of course, you heard the announcement, one more unsportsmanlike and you're out of the game.
Gives a little life to Brett Gabbert. This RedHawks offense has lacked it in week 1. Mosey swallowed up. Kiko Maui-Noa. You're going to hear his name a lot for this Hurricanes defense.
Watch, he's going to come off the backside from the right. He's number 51. Look at him shoot through, pursue down the line, and make that tackle at the line of scrimmage. Tremendous job by Maui-Noa.
His brother, of course, starting as a true freshman at right tackle, 5-star, part of this highly touted Miami recruiting class. Well, he's the older brother. He's a big difference maker through the transfer portal. Those two kind of embody the roster overhaul that you've seen from year 1 to year 2 under Mario Cristobal. Gabbert getting it out quickly. He has to. Big hit, a punishing hit. Cam Kitchens. He gave Larvidan all of it on that tackle.
Yeah, I mean, this is why Cam Kitchens is going to be a first-round draft pick. He can flow to the ball inside out. Watch him finish it off. I mean, you better keep running if you're a receiver, or get down, because when Cam Kitchens is coming, he's going to light you up like he did right there.
Now, Brett Gabbert has 10 completions. 8 of them have gone to number 10, Gage Larvidan, the transfer from Southeast Louisiana. You see Kitchens, an All-American a year ago. Best safety in the country. You said it, projected to be a first-round pick. Tackles like that are why. 3rd and 2. Maui-Noa trying to wrestle Mosey down, and he does. No gain.
Well, you know, the funny thing is, we really didn't call out Maui-Noa's name that much in the first half. I think he got after it at halftime and said, I'm going to go out and make some tackles. That's his 5th tackle in this 3rd quarter alone. So someone got in his ear. And oh, by the way, he was voted a team captain for this game as well. So 2 newcomers onto the squad in Matt Lee and Francisco Maui-Noa, team captains tonight.
Bevelheimer set to punt it again for the RedHawks. He's had the busiest night of anybody in a Miami, Ohio uniform. Restrepo off the bounce, makes 2 men miss. Let's take a look at another freshman that has made a great first impression, the running back, Mark Fletcher.
Yeah, heard a ton of great things about Mark Fletcher coming into this game, and he has not disappointed. Finishes off runs, good vision. He's powerful at 225, and we specifically asked Matt Lee about the 4 backs that were going to get used, and he perked right up when he talked about Mark Fletcher Jr.
Team number 20, 10-yard penalty, first down.
That might have been the biggest smile Mario Cristobal had when we were running through the 2 deep.
You know, the funny thing is, you got 4 really good backs you can rotate through. Mark Fletcher is the type of back that you can give him the ball 25, 30 times a game, and he'll carry the load. But the fact that you got 3 other backs beside him, you know, the nice thing it's going to do, it's going to keep fresh. And that makes coaches like Mario Cristobal very happy, as well as offensive coordinator Shannon Dawson. Again, you get the hot hand like Fletcher has, you can go with him.
Penalty on the return backs the Hurricanes up inside their own 25. Here's Henry Parrish Jr. bouncing outside. Matt Salopek had to be careful there. Any contact once you leave the field of play, we've seen it get flagged time and time again.
Well, the crowd wanted it. They didn't get it. You know, and you see Salopek right there. He's a former safety from a couple of years ago. Out of necessity, had to move to middle linebacker. He gained about 30 pounds the last couple of years. Got a lot bigger, physically stronger, doing a nice job. One of the leaders of that defense.
Great player. You said it, a safety in high school, 24 interceptions. Playing in the state of Ohio as high school football, and now trying to help Miami, Ohio win a MAC championship.
Yeah, a little pressure. They're going to send the blitz. He knows he's going to get hit. Stands in there. Does Tyler Van Dyke. Takes the hit from Michael Dowell and throws a strike to Tyler Harrell, who they say is an absolute burner and can stretch the field. That's one thing we haven't seen the Hurricanes try to do at all. Go vertical with any deep shots. Might be saving it for Texas A&M next week.
That'll be a big test. Once this game is over, all Hurricanes fans will be thinking A&M. Here's dialing up a deep ball. Right on the money. What a grab. Restrepo.
Talk about a tremendous pass. Tyler Van Dyke drops us in the bucket in the hands of Xavier Restrepo. Watch this. I mean, right there in stride. I mean, it was really good coverage by Eli Blakely. And Tyler Van Dyke just puts it right in there perfectly. And they're going to review this, I believe. Oh, no. End of the quarter. I'm wrong.
Oh, we do love college football. Football is back week 1 here at Hard Rock Stadium. Reedy Angolia, Jay Alter with you. Start of the 4th quarter, and the Canes picking up where they left off. They have been moving the ball at will, Reedy. This offense looking really strong in the home opener. And as I say that, there is a flag down on the field.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
But against the defense,
Half the distance to the goal, penalty, first down.
Well, you look at his 3rd quarter, Jay. Tyler Van Dyke, 5 for 5 for 84 yards. 4 of those completions have been down the field, which we haven't seen. So he looks really good in this 3rd quarter. It's been a really nice balanced attack between pass and run as Van Dyke closes in on 200 yards passing on the night.
Van Dyke's 3rd season starting at quarterback for the Hurricanes. 3 different offensive coordinators in that time. This seems like a perfect fit with Shannon Dawson, who came in from Houston. 1st and 10 from the 15. Van Dyke slings it out. Ray Joseph, another talented true freshman, with his first grab of the evening.
So it was interesting talking to Shannon Dawson, the offensive coordinator, new offensive coordinator. He said, I actually feel bad for Tyler that he's had 3 offensive coordinators in 3 years. He goes, I was with Clayton Tune at Houston. I had him all 4 years, and it took a couple of years to get him going. And he said there's a lot of similarities. And oh, by the way, Clayton Tune may be starting in the NFL this year, the 5th round draft pick. So Tyler Van Dyke is in good hands with Shannon Dawson as offensive coordinator and quarterback coach this season.
And they have found fast chemistry running this Hurricanes offense, trying to punch it in for another touchdown. Here's Henry Parrish Jr. Breaks a tackle into the end zone. Touchdown, Hurricanes.
I hate to say it, but number 2, Yassine McKee, left something at about the 15-yard line right here. Whoop, whoop, and goodbye as Henry Parrish Jr. turns that corner and just turns on the Jets.
I'll tell you what, it's going to be tough for Mario Cristobal to name a starting running back at any point this season, because everybody who has touched the ball out of the backfield has shown something for the Canes tonight.
And they all have a little different skill set, which is really nice.
It's been that kind of night for the U, dominating in the Battle of Miami. Canes up big. football being back. You got ACC expansion with Cal, Stanford, SMU joining the conference. And I'm sure they'll be talking about the U. I know Mark Richt will certainly be talking about the U in this impressive performance. Kevin Davis on the return for the RedHawks. Gets out past the 30. And we've talked a lot about the Miami offense, and for good reason, Randy. They've put up 31 points so far tonight. How about the Hurricanes defense? They've only allowed 3 points. A new defensive coordinator, Lance Guidry.
And they were excited to bring Lance Guidry here from Marshall. Did a nice job there. Cam Kitchens, we spoke to him, was thrilled with his defensive plan. It's an aggressive style, moves a lot of guys around. And to your point, they've held this RedHawks team only 10 yards rushing tonight, 120 in total yards. Pretty dominant by this Hurricanes defense.
Yeah, the one question mark I had, as this is the biggest play Miami, Ohio has had offensively all night long. Rashad Amos, who transfer from South Carolina, gain of 23.
Well, I mean, when you're talking about holding him to 10 yards, you know that's going to happen. You just jinxed him, but nice run by Amos. Big, strong, fast back. 234 pounds. He's got some good wheels. Nice run. Good stiff arm. I love to see that. Get off me, says Rashad Amos.
Just finishing the point on Guidry and the coordinators, you don't know how it's going to fit. First game for Lance Guidry, defensive coordinator, Shannon Dawson, new offensive coordinator, and then 41 new scholarship players. So a lot of new year 2 under head coach Mario Cristobal. And that can take a week or two, but tonight it has clicked immediately.
And when we spoke to Lance Guidry this week, he was excited with the personnel he got. Don't forget, he left Marshall. He took the Tulane job. He was there for 2 weeks. He got called by Mario. Hey, you want to come to Miami? Boom. He was here. All this talent that he has to work with. It's a blank slate for Lance Guidry. He's excited to be here.
His defense getting tested here. Ohio in Miami territory, but tripped up behind the line, loss of 3. KJ Cloyd, great tackle there for the Canes.
Yeah, and I mean, even the middle linebacker and the will linebacker, KJ Cloyd right here, great speed, beats the block, gets outside and makes the tackle for the loss on Rashad Amos.
One last thing on Guidry. He was a part of the Miami, Ohio coaching staff that won the MAC in 2010. They played in the GoDaddy.com Bowl. And Guidry was the interim head coach. He went viral for a pregame speech. They won the game, so 1-0 for the RedHawks, and now going to be 1-0 against them. Gabbert slings it on 3rd and 11. That's a great grab. Javon Tracy hauls that in. Picks up the first down. Needed 11, got 11.
Yeah, nice job by Tracy to come back to his quarterback, Brett Gabbert. Gabbert puts it on him. Tracy comes back, and he actually fell down and was standing back up. So great concentration by the young receiver out of Indianapolis.
And played some quarterback in high school. Now making terrific catches like that as a wide receiver. Best drive of the night for Miami, Ohio. They keep it going. Back-to-back grabs for Tracy.
That's the way to close on the ball by Jaden Davis there, and that's really the difference. You know, a lot of times you see those slants, receiver catches it, there's some breathing room to maybe break a tackle. This secondary is very fast to the football, and although the RedHawks make the catch, the tackle's made immediately, and I know that's going to make Lance Guidry happy.
Play clock under 5. Can't turn the corner. Guidry said we want as many hats to the ball as possible. They have shown that time and time again tonight.
And they've done a tremendous job of setting the edge. Nigel Kelly, number 9, the defensive end. You know, setting the edge is not allowing the running back to turn the corner. He sets it, They cannot get outside. They string it out, and they make the tackle at the line of scrimmage.
And Branson Dean, 58 in orange there. He's been really impressive. He's another great transfer portal pickup from Purdue, a big part of that Boilermaker team that made it to the Big Ten championship a year ago.
Yeah, Mario Cristobal said he's very happy to have him on this team.
And they are loaded with talent on the defensive side of the ball. They have shown it in the opener. Gabbert, clean pocket, dials it up deep. Incomplete. Terrific coverage. Jaden Davis, transfer from Oklahoma there to break it up.
Oh, it's picture perfect. He's stride for stride with him. At the last minute, he turns and plays the ball. It's exactly what you want to do. He's going to turn back, play the ball. You can get away with that kind of, pushing a little bit, the hand fighting. As long as you turn, play the ball, and go up. Excellent job. Goes up with that inside hand. That's textbook.
4th and 6. Chuck Martin leaving the offense out on the field, and why not? Down by 28 on the road against the U. You got nothing to lose. They're forced to burn a timeout. Play clock was running down.
Timeout. Miami of Ohio. Their first timeout of the half.
Well, they call it the confusion ball, but there's been no confusion. It's all about the U, up 28.
To help Jersey
Network football presented by Dr. Pepper. Rini Agolia, Jay Alter with you. We've had Miami, Ohio last couple of seasons. Chuck Martin's team, they're so disciplined defensively. Brett Gabbert, this is his 4th year starting quarterback for the RedHawks. He's been in and out of the lineup with injuries. Got hurt in the opener a year ago. This is a really good RedHawks team. We thought they would give the Hurricanes a little better of a test, but maybe it speaks to how dialed in this Miami Hurricanes team is at the start of this season. Gabbert on 4th and 6, scrambles, incomplete. The defense continues to make play after play for the Canes.
Listen, Las Vegas thought it was going to be closer too.
Yep.
And I just think this Hurricanes team has came out, and when we talked to the players this week, they just kept telling us, we just want to prove to ourselves. We're not worried about anything else. The work we put in, and you try to put it in there, and you have to on 4th down, and it's just an excellent job by Najee Kelly, the defensive end, to knock that ball away downfield in coverage.
We've got a new quarterback for Miami. 4-touchdown lead. Mario Cristobal going to hand a debut to the true freshman Emory Williams. And speaking with offensive coordinator Shannon Dawson, he said, quote, "This kid was born to throw the football." High praise for the true freshman. A.J. Allen tripped up, gain of 3. This is great game experience, and that's what you get when you build such a comfortable cushion. Let's get the backup quarterback, true freshman, some reps.
Yeah, this is perfect scenario for Mario Cristobal and the Hurricanes.
Williams going to throw, completes his first pass in a Miami uniform. And it goes for a 1st down. Jacoby George, Under Armour All-American.
And they love this tunnel screen. Nice job. They got a lot of receivers to run it to. And George breaks the first tackle, and then the offensive linemen are able to get out there, and he picks up the 1st down. But nice for Emory Williams, first career pass to complete it.
Well, it's funny. I tell everybody that he was born to throw the football, and then I'm thinking, well, maybe they won't throw the football because they're up 4 touchdowns, but showing what the freshman out of Milton, Florida could do. Now, college football week 1 has certainly been the focus tonight and will be tomorrow on Saturday. But Sunday on ACC Network, you get volleyball, soccer, and field hockey. Triple header. It all starts at noon. Top 15 matchup in volleyball, Kentucky at Pittsburgh. Then a top 10 matchup in women's soccer, Arkansas at North Carolina. James Madison at Wake Forest. Field hockey wraps it up. Williams set to throw again. Clean pocket. delivers a strike right on the money for the first down. Went right back to Jacoby George.
An absolute BB. And that right there shows you what Shannon Dawson was talking about, born to throw. Quick release, watch this tight spiral, and this ball gets there in a hurry. Watch this, pew, right through there.
Wow.
Beautiful ball.
Very impressive debut. All these freshmen that are part of this top 5 class that we've seen tonight, they've delivered.
And Mario Cristobal said they are playing this year. They're all playing.
After a 5-7 disappointing season a year ago, 41 new scholarship players, a lot of them the freshman class. They hit the transfer portal hard as well. And they have shown up and made, really, I can't think of a better first impression here in week 1.
Great balance on offense, running and throwing the football. And then really, how dominant was that defense tonight? Kind of surprising. I thought they were going to be pretty good. They've played lights out. Special teams, I mean, really soup to nuts to this point with 6 minutes left in this ball game. Mario Cristobal has got to be ecstatic.
And the run game as well. This is the first game that the Hurricanes have rushed for more than 200 yards since last year's season opener against Bethune-Cookman.
And no disrespect to Bethune-Cookman, this is a different opponent.
This was a top 20 team in the country against the run a year ago. Here's Williams improvising, tried to tuck and run. So I guess the question now is, okay, you did it against Miami, Ohio, and this is a good RedHawks team. It is.
Yep.
Impressive performance. A week from tomorrow, you have Texas A&M here at Hard Rock Stadium. That could be a statement game for Mario Cristobal and the Canes.
That's a big game for both those programs, right?
Yes.
You know, whoever comes out of that game with the win is going to have some nice momentum, but a huge test next week for sure.
Williams rolls right, checks down to the tight end, Riley Williams. Another really talented true freshman. Get used to hearing the name Riley Williams. Grew up in Portland, Oregon, so Mario Cristobal knew all about him. Then transferred to IMG, kind of followed Cristobal to South Florida.
But I really like what Emory Williams did there. I mean, he scanned the field. He started to his first read. He comes across the field. He rolls out and then puts a nice ball where Riley Williams can catch it, get upfield, and pick up the first down.
Right here on ACC Network. Donald Chaney Jr. breaks free, ripping through tacklers, plowing into the end zone to cap off what has been a remarkable week 1 performance for the U.
You know, Donald Chaney Jr. may be their most physical running back at 210 pounds. Great vision, good cutback, and watch him run behind his pads right here and finish it off. Love it that he delivers it to the defender and says, I'm gonna get myself in that goal line. I'm gonna get 6. That's how you finish off a run. Very impressed with all 4 running backs from the Canes tonight.
All 4 running backs, both quarterbacks. That was Emory Williams' first drive in a Hurricanes uniform, and it's a touchdown.
And how about this for balance, Jay? 242 yards rushing, 243 yards passing for the Hurricanes tonight.
Doesn't get much better than that for Mario Cristobal. And one thing that I noticed, we'll talk about it on the other side, is Hard Rock Stadium. Mario Cristobal, he wants to turn it into a fortress. We'll tell you why next.
What?
Mario Cristobal in his debut as year number 2, head coach of his alma mater, couldn't think of a more impressive performance. Scored on their first drive of the season and have not looked back. A dominant effort, 38-3. You know, it's funny, a year ago in what was admittedly a disappointing season in year 1 for Mario Cristobal, the Hurricanes, I think what was most disappointing, they were 2-5 here at home at Hard Rock Stadium. They lost their last 5 home games of the season. Mario Cristobal, he was 22-1 in 23 home games at Oregon, so he is all about creating a fortress here at home in South Florida. He took care of business tonight. If you can win that home game against a top 25 team at Texas A&M on ABC, people will start saying the U is back.
And if you win that game, just looking at that schedule, you have a really good chance of being undefeated going into that October 14th at North Carolina. It's a long way to go, but I'm just saying it could happen.
New quarterback for Miami, Ohio, Avion Smith, who played a lot of last season because of the injuries sustained by Brett Gabbert. Smith on the run like Gabbert has been most of tonight. Miami's defense still in full pursuit despite a 35-point lead.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to get after it. I've been really impressed with this defense tonight, running to the football and just showing you their team speed, flying around.
Now, Mario Cristobal has said all offseason, our DNA has changed. We brought in 41 new scholarship players, and it's led to more competitive practices. It's led to more leadership in the locker room, and you're seeing it. It's leading to results on the field. The compete level has improved from year one to year two.
And he said the leadership council has taken a step too. Very good, you know, holding players accountable.
Smith airing it out. What a catch! That might be the play of the night from Cade McDonald. Gotta take another look at this. Wow.
And Damari Brown, I believe, was in coverage. And Cade McDonald, just great concentration to make that catch.
I know it comes down 35, but when it's a catch like that, it doesn't matter when it comes. Wow. McDonald, a Michigan State transfer. Just a terrific grab there. Smith airing it out deep again. Incomplete, almost an even better catch. That one from Tracy.
I mean, he caught it. He was just out of bounds. It almost looked like he toe tapped here. Let's see if we can get our first review of the night. We haven't had one yet. That's a catch.
That's a catch.
That left toe is in. I think replay's going to stop this. They've been quiet all night. That is a better catch than the one before. I think they should stop this and look at it.
Avion Smith knows it's a catch.
Yeah, here we go. He toe tapped. That is a catch. That's a SportsCenter top 10 for Tracy. I don't care what the score is.
Was an incomplete pass. The previous play is under further review.
Better late than never for Miami, Ohio. Back to back. These are some of the best catches you might see all season. Look at this.
Watch the left toe. Right there, he's got it. This left toe is going to tap in before that hand touches down. It's close. That right there, it looks like the leg's out, but when you look at the other angle, the toe looks like it taps first, just instantaneously.
This is similar to what we saw last night watching the Minnesota-Nebraska game. It doesn't look like that toe's going to come down. It looks like he's out of bounds.
He's got it. Watch that left toe. Watch that left toe.
There.
A little more, guys. Boom, right there. To me, it's a catch. That toe touches before that knee hits. Give it to him. This is really a great look here. I think here you really see this toe tap. Yes, you got to look at all the pieces of it just to make sure. Now, listen.
Yes, right there.
I believe he caught it.
It's bang, bang, but it's a catch.
You know.
There it is.
Yeah. Great. And listen, I get the call from the official. It's bang, bang, right? It's super fast. That's why you have replay.
If you're Miami, Ohio, I know you got a backup quarterback and you're going against a second-team defense. But does it make you think maybe we should have been doing this all night? I guess against the starting secondary could result in a lot of interceptions.
Easier said than done, right? I mean, Chuck Martin told us he wanted to take vertical shots, but you know that first-team defense for the Hurricanes was just aggressive. They didn't have time to throw. They were getting pressure on Gabbert and just so athletic on the back end.
And the McDonald catch was the best play we've seen all night from either team. And then it only lasts one play because Tracy outdoes him. That big smile, he knows he caught that football. Got the toe down before the arm went down out of bounds. You're right, first replay we've had all night.
Yeah. So let's see. Now let's make sure he survives the ground too. To me, that toe's in. Let's make sure that ball, he controls the ball. I think this is a catch. They're going to reverse this and give it to him.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands as called.
Reedy and Golian 0 for 1.
But listen, and I respect the officials. They do a great job. I disagree. I believe there was enough there.
I think they might have thought the knee was down the same time as the toe.
Yeah, and listen, I get it. Stands means there just wasn't enough to overturn it. I stand with what I said. I think that toe tapped. I thought he controlled it, but I understand the stands, and they don't give it to him. So, sorry, Red Hawk fans. I tried for you. I thought it was a catch.
Yeah, the one thing you could definitely say about the RedHawks is that they have a lot of talent, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. They will be contenders at the top of the MAC. They will.
They play these tough games each and every year, and Chuck Martin told us, they don't necessarily change what they do. They try to run the ball, play action, which what they're doing in this last drive here against some of the backups. But we don't necessarily change what we do to try to match these Power 5 teams when we play them. We go in there, we try to win the game, we play hard, but ultimately, sometimes we just don't match up, which is what happened tonight. But it makes them better in the long run in MAC play.
Smith, capable runner, gets out of bounds safely. Next up for Miami, Ohio, a trip to UMass and then at Cincinnati, so they don't have their first home game until September 23rd.
Yeah, on the road.
UMass, the hottest team in college football right now, started the season 1-0.
Play Auburn tomorrow, we'll see.
Would you say you are their most famous alum?
No.
Football player.
Yeah, I mean, if you say yes, it's because of my ESPN work, not as me as a former player.
You were a great player.
I appreciate that, partner. Thank you. To me, the best player in UMass history, and I'm dating myself, is a quarterback by the name of Greg Landry. He was an All-Pro, played for the Detroit Lions. To me, he's the most famous football player in UMass history. But it's going to be a good matchup for the Minutemen and the RedHawks next week.
And I'm proud of you. You did not trip up nearly as much as I thought you would between
I surprised myself.
Miami and Miami.
I stayed on the under for sure.
The Confusion Bowl was not nearly as confusing as we projected it to be, and it certainly wasn't that confusing on the field. The U took that first drive of the game, scored a touchdown, really did not look back. They had played some confident football from start to finish.
And complimentary football, right? Balanced on offense. We talked about the yards of rushing and throwing. Defense played lights out, and really, they played good on special teams. So, I mean, if you're Mario Cristobal and his coaching staff, you got to be excited with this first win here to start the season.
Well, everybody was excited coming into the season. The roster looked so much better on paper, and tonight was about, will it translate from paper to the field? And it has. Turnover on downs, right on cue. The defense delivers again.
And you love to see it when you have backups in there, right? Step up. The game's over with for all intents and purposes, and they still step up when they get their time to stop the RedHawks on 4th down and get the ball back. There was a lot of Hurricanes fans, Jay. I really believe coming in this game, they thought, okay, is this going to be another Middle Tennessee State? Is this team from the MAC going to come in here and put it on us? And I'm here to tell you, and we talked about it in the open, this is a different Miami Hurricanes team from a year ago. The DNA's different, as you said. 41 new scholarship players, new coordinators, different team by far.
It's one thing to say it all off season. It's another thing to see it on the field, and I think that's what's so important about tonight. And then you get a quick test. Texas A&M, a top 25 team next Saturday here at home. That's an opportunity to make a statement very early in year 2. They definitely have the right guy as head coach, Mario Cristobal, and people knew that last season despite a 5-7 record. They knew this is the guy to turn it around.
And I think when you come back to your alma mater, it's just, I don't want to say it means more, but it's just something special about that, right? When you played and gave your blood, sweat, and tears out there, especially Mario as a former offensive lineman. I mean, he's got that mentality that you want here at the U. And listen, started this year, right, by revamping and retooling that offensive line. All starts up front.
Still pushing that pile up 35, and that will do it. In the Battle of Miami, the Confusion Bowl, it was all about the U in the home opener. A dominant 35-point victory. Tyler Van Dyke.